All right, this is what I was going to show you. I'm going to tell you guys about the rock that I have that I usually train to condition my hands. So I'm going to give you an idea, usually what I do and what it consists of. So you have an idea. And to start out, usually most times people start out the traditional way. I'm going to do this like a regular kneeling stance. Look, my thighs have gotten bigger. Muscles in my legs have gotten thick again. They're getting big again. So here's what I usually do. Let me turn the camera this way. Okay, so traditionally what happens is usually starting this type of training in the beginning, usually you get like a wok with sand in it, and you'll warm the sand and basically run your fingers into the sand. Then after that, as you get used to it, and the nerves in your hands begin to get more deadened, and your hands get stronger, then the next thing you're going to do is get pebbles, like little small stones, and you'll put your hands inside the wok continuously. Now, from that point, when you're doing from here, these are strengthening your fingers for spear fist strikes, and then what usually you'll do is you'll punch the pebbles. After a while, what happens is the pebbles will break down the sand. Then your hands are usually ready at that next stage. Then if you're looking to train your hand like for spear fist striking, in other words, it's a lethal technique to where a person can hit like the solar plex or a vital area using the fingers. Then what happens is you do it with stones, and you run your hands inside the stones. After a while, the hands are getting deformed. Your fingernails are definitely going to lose, and your hands are going to get bloody a little bit there, and they're going to be sore. They're going to hurt quite a bit. Your hands are going to get deformed. But usually, when you get the stones, you spear your hands into the stones like this until you build up a tolerance to where you don't feel any more pain, and you can comfortably go through for like about 15-20 minutes. Now, the final stage, usually what I do, I didn't strengthen mine to the spear thing. That part, I didn't want to sit there and tear my fingernails up and all that other stuff. Because that type of training eventually will lead to like arthritis and all that other stuff. And plus you have to have certain types of herbs and all that other stuff to, put on your hands to condition your hands. Then we go to what's called the stone. So here, I usually take this rock that I have here, as you see. It's smooth on the surface. And in the beginning, what I recommend you do is take a towel, fold it over like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to do knife hand strikes with it, backhand strikes, punch. And this is usually for like about 15-20 minutes. Make sure you hit the knuckles real good. What you're trying to do is you're trying to deaden the nerves, and you're trying to flatten that piece of cartilage there on your hand. After a while, as you're punching it, and make sure you're making the connection with these knuckles, not your smaller knuckles here, because the bones back here are fragile and they'll break. So you want to come into it, and then usually what I like to do, I'll come from a chamber position. Then at the advanced stage, once your hands are ready for it, then you expose the bare stone, slap it. This is just to get blood flowing through your hands. Then once you get to that point, then you're going to make a semi-fist. And basically what you're doing is you're hitting the back of the knuckles. As you can see here, my hands. And then you're going to go in, you're going to do the same thing with your strikes. And you're going to build it up until you can do like 15-20 minutes of it. So every day, this is what I do. And then what happens is, you start out slow, and then you get faster, and you'll see your hands will start to, harden up. So this is what I've done for years. This is why my hands are so heavy and conditioned. So this is why, I've trained my hands to that point to be able to do this. And so what we're going to do here, let me see. And as you can see, the brick is broke, and that's how I train my hands and condition my hands to do this. And now you have it. This is what I did to build my hands up for iron conditioning. My name is Don Miguel Cummings, sensei. I've been studying martial arts since 8 years old. My highest rank is a 5th degree black belt, and I also have black belt in other styles too. Actually, one other style, and I've also did styles with Aikido under the Central New York Aikikai Federation with Yusef Metter. I've trained Taekwondo with the Northeast Pan Am Federation and Taekwondo under Les Zampino, Sabunim Les Zampino. He was a 6th degree black belt at then. He was a master teacher under Great Grandmaster Bai. Michelle Smith was the Olympic medal champion there. I also trained at Ray Rinaldi's boxing gym up on the north side in Syracuse. Sifu Daniel Hammond for Southern Shaolin Kung Fu and Wing Chun and other concepts of Southern styles of Kung Fu. I've trained with Uncle and Eric Todd Washington, who does Goju-Ryu, Okinawan Goju-Ryu, and I've trained with Uncle Marvin Gunn, who also does Okinawan Goju-Ryu. I trained with Daniel Estrella, who also does Okinawan Goju-Ryu, and I've trained with Carlos Morales, also, who does Goju-Ryu, and he also has experience in Kyokushinkai. And there was a couple other teachers that are along the way. Dale, who I also trained Kung Fu with when I was around 8 or 10 years old. And also, like I said, with my cousin Daniel Hammond, Sifu Daniel Hammond, I also trained with under techniques theory of Jeet Kune Do under with him. And like I said, Southern Shaolin Kung Fu and Wing Chun. So this is me, Don Miguel Cummings. This is my tutelage on iron palm training and how to develop the hands to be able to be strong to smash through bricks. I can warn you ahead of time. Like I said, my hands are very, very dangerous. I've been in a few confrontations, and after the first punch ends everything. So I've never had to even use a second technique or a follow-up technique. Sometimes in this day and age, in this world, no matter how kind and sincere you are, people always try to look for a vulnerable target. And usually, when you're smiling and you're happy, a lot of times people usually take that as a sign of weakness. Me, I'm here to say I'm that surprised to let you know that the kind-hearted people can fight back. But anyway, that's enough for me, and I hope you enjoyed my little instruction and tutelage, and I'll catch you at the next one.